Hello everyone, welcome back to a live Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're going to be looking at my Dark Magician deck profile for October 2019 format. I picked this deck because my locals is mostly control, so there's Subterrors and Paleo, all of that kind of slow paced deck. So I had to play a control based deck, and I thought Dark Magicians was a nice way of doing that. And I'll explain some of the card choices along the way and some of the things you can do with this deck. But we're starting off with, of course, 3 vanilla Dark Magician. As I always do when I play Dark Magician and Blue Eyes, I'm using one of each of my favourite artworks. So we've got this one from the Tins, Secret Rare, the Jules Power one, and the Collector's Tin 14 version. Dark Magician, you always want one in your hand. For your first turn, you always want to end up with one in your hand for Magician's Navigation. Ideally, you then want one in the deck and one in the graveyard. So 3 is really important for Dark Magicians. Then I'm running 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. So what this card does is it special summons itself when you activate a spell or trap card in your opponent's turn. And then it can special summon Dark Magicians from your graveyard, but it's mostly good as a card you can get on the board quite easily from your hand, because chances are you're going to be activating some spells and traps in your opponent's turn. Then lastly, for the main magicians, 1 Apprentice Illusion Magician. She's really good, but she's quite expensive at the moment, so I'm only running 1. She's getting a reprint in January, so maybe I'll bump it up to 2. She can special summon herself by discarding cards, so she's again basically a free spellcaster on your field, and she searches the Dark Magician into your hand. So I do think it is better for you to play 2 of them in your deck, but I can't right now, so that's the thing. And then our main starter card is Magician's Rod, 3 of. You summon it and you can search Dark Magician spell or trap card, so that is basically whichever one you don't have in your hand, or if you have none of them you search Magician's Circle to hopefully get the second one. It's second effect you never use, but it's a really good, it's basically your normal summon. So that's it for the monsters. Obviously quite a small number of monsters, but your actual Dark Magicians, all 6 of these are searchable. So yeah, and you've got quite a decent amount of draw power. So then for the spell cards, triple Magician's Circle. This is what makes your deck really good. When it's activated, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and search a Dark Magician or Dark Magician spell or trap card and add it to your hand. Then you can place the remaining cards on top of your deck in any order, so you can stack your deck for the next turn. And then if a Dark Magician is normal or special summoned, and that's all 3 of the vanillas and these 2 Magician Dark Illusion. If a Dark Magician monster is special summoned, you can banish 1 card, target 1 card your opponent controls, banish it. 1 card as well, so that's spot removal, and it's kind of a disruption as well. Amazing card. Then 2 of Illusion Magic. So what you would do here is you would you'd summon Magician's Rod, search your circle or navigation or whatever, then use Illusion Magic, tribute the rod to search your Dark Magician so that your navigation is live. It's a really good way of unbricking your bricky hands. Then 1 of Eye of Timaeus. I don't feel like it's super important in the deck anymore, but the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, is one of the strongest cards, or one of the strongest Dark Magician cards in my opinion, so if you can resolve the Eye of Timaeus, I think you're probably going to win that game. And then lastly, for our Dark Magician spell cards, Dark Magic Attack. You can search it and it clears the back row, which obviously is really important in a control based format. So those are my Dark Magician spells and traps. And then we've got lots of draw and stun cards. So I have bought 3 Pot of Extravagance. Currently they're being proxied as Allures. I wouldn't actually run Allure of Darkness. I might bump Eye of Timaeus up to 2 rather than play Allure, or even Desires, because you don't really need all of the cards in your deck. But yeah, these will be Extravagance by the time I actually go to play this again. Extravagance, your extra deck is barely needed. It's mostly tech stuff that you might need occasionally, but the only card you actually genuinely ever want to go for is the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And if you banish it off of Extravagance, then whatever, you just discard Eye of Timaeus for a card effect like Twin Twisters. So it's never actually that important. And then second to that, we've got 2 Pot of Duality. Now I learnt when researching this deck, Pot of Duality doesn't conflict with Extravagance. Extravagance has a line of text that says you cannot draw cards for the remainder of the turn. Pot of Duality, you don't draw. You add 1 card, you excavate 3, and then add 1 to your hand. So Pot of Duality is like Magician's Circle, which in that regard is really good because it means you can Duality. You can Magician's Circle, and then if there's a card in there that you really want but you can't get off of the circle, you can Duality to get it. So that's really good. That's your draw power. And then for our generic tech, triple Secret Village. Spell cards are obviously really important in certain decks, particularly those what's the word I'm looking for? The rogue decks. Rogue decks really need spells and traps to do their searching. And Secret Village, obviously it doesn't really affect you. If you can get your navigation down, Secret Village will be live during your opponent's turn, but not yours. So it's really good. And then triple Twin Twisters to get rid of back row. Because again, back row is really bad, and there can only be one kind of hurts this deck quite a lot because it turns your Magician's Navigation off instantly. But as a deck, you don't really need that much on the field at any one time. You can probably get away with playing under there can only be one, but you'd rather not. So then trap cards, Magician's Navigation. This card is amazing, and its artwork is too. Special summon a Dark Magician from your hand, then 1 level 7 or lower Dark Spellcaster from your deck. If you draw a Dark Magician, except the turn of the graveyard, banish this card from your graveyard. Target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, it has its effects negated. So it gets you 2 Dark Magicians on the board, basically. There's nothing bad about it. This is why you want 1 in your hand and 1 in your deck. And then triple Eternal Soul as well after that. Eternal Soul protects your Dark Magicians from card effects. But if this is destroyed, all monsters you control are also destroyed. We'll get onto that with the extra deck. And then once per turn, you can either special summon a Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard, or search Dark Magic Attack from your deck. That's how you get your Dark Magic Attack from your deck, your one-off. That's why you don't really need it, because most of the time, certainly the first turn or second turn you have Eternal Soul active, you don't have enough Dark Magicians to you don't have multiple Dark Magicians, so you want to search special summon a Dark Magician turn 1 and then Thousand Knives turn 2 or something like that. And then generic trap cards, Infinite Impermanence, really good. It's a hand trap that you can still use on your opponent's turn. If you use it in your opponent's turn, then if you use it turn 0, I guess, then you can special summon your Magician to Dark Illusion turn 0, which is kind of cool. Negates card effects. Then 1 of Summon Limit. You don't do that much special summoning with this deck, so Summon Limit is really good. Skill Drain. None of your cards or none of your monsters really have effects on the field. Magician Dark Illusion technically does, but it's not very good. Apprentice Delusion Magician is a special summon effect, and Magician's Rod is a normal summon effect. So Skill Drain is only ever good for you. And last but not least, Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Now this card is at 3, but the important thing is, with this trifecta, if I have Secret Village active, my opponent can't activate spell cards. So that's really good. Then Eradicator Epidemic Virus, I tribute 1 of my Dark Magicians to what does it actually do? Destroy all trap cards my opponent controls in their hand, field, face down on their field, and for the first few turns after it's activated. So that shuts down spells, that shuts down traps. Skill Drain shuts down monster effects. Dark Magician's a vanilla with 2500 attack. That means in order to get over a vanilla Dark Magician, they have to summon a monster with 2500 or more attack points without using spells, traps, or monster effects. So that's a really, really strong lock you can do. Obviously, Skill Drain, Eradicator, Epidemic, and Secret Village are all non-searchable, but you can draw them. And some decks either won't use spells, won't use traps very heavily, or their monster effects won't be dependent, or their combos won't be dependent on their monster summons. So yeah, that's why I wanted to play this deck. I wanted to be able to use Skill Drain, Eradicator, and Secret Village, or Anti-Spell, or whatever, all in the same deck. And then the extra deck, as I said, the extra deck's not that important. I'm running one Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Your opponent cannot target spells or traps you control with card effects, or they cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So this protects your circle, and it protects your Eternal Soul, most importantly, so you can keep recycling your Dark Magicians without worrying about them being destroyed. Running one Dark Paladin. Guard Dragons are a thing, so I feel like having Dark Paladin is really good, but not essential. What else? Ebon Illusion Magician is your main Xyz monster that you want to go for, but you're usually better off not doing so. And then we've got Decode Talker, Dingirisu in the side deck. Oh, and I should probably Dingirisu and Starving Venom and Mud Dragon. Here we go. In the side deck, I'm running Crackdown, which takes your opponent's monsters. So if you take a Galatea or any, you take the Galatea from your opponent, and then you could just link up into Dingirisu, and that's a really strong card to just slap down. So kind of anti-meta option. And then Super Polymerization targets for those two. And then more generic stuff really. Decode Talker, Boral Sword, Nightmare Phoenix, more back row removal. Wee Witch, Nightmare Unicorn, or another Princess Illusion Magician. Big Eye, because I like it, and Ebon High Magician. Again, it's not really that great, but it's cool. But you only really run a 15 card extra deck because 12 of those cards might be banished with Extravagance. So you kind of need you need at least 12 cards in your extra deck. But that's it. What I might do is very quickly, I'll just show you some of the things you might see in an opening hand. And I will post in the comments how well this deck is doing, if I make any changes to it. Obviously, apart from Extravagance, because in playtesting I've always treated it as a pot of Extravagance. But yeah, it's not like a crazy explosive deck like a lot of them you see. It's just good. So 5 card opening: Secret Village, Princess Illusion, Dark Illusion, Twin Twisters, and Impermanence. So what we would probably start quite light here actually. I would summon an Princess Illusion Magician by discarding Twin Twisters, because I'm assuming Secret Village will be live. That will let me search a Dark Magician. From my deck to my hand. Then I would activate Secret Village and set Impermanence. Not crazy strong, but then I'm summoning Magician to Dark Illusion in the next turn, and their spells are turned off. So that's something. I'll do one more. That wasn't a super explosive hand, but against a control deck, you don't need to be super explosive. You just need to be consistent. Slow and steady wins the race in a control format. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what else we get. Okay, this is much more explosive. So start with my pot of Extravagance. I'm not going to banish because I'm never going to use my extra deck anyway. So we've got another Twin Twisters and a Magician of Dark Illusion. What I'm going to start with is normal summon the Magician's Rod and search Dark Magic Circle. So now here we have the Circle, the Soul, and Magician's Navigation. The only problem is we don't have the actual Dark Magician. We have Magician's Dark Illusion, which is great. So that means our Dark Magic Circle is live, but Magician's Navigation isn't. So then when we activate Dark Magic Circle, we're hoping to get Dark Magician. We didn't. We got another Eternal Soul, which is kind of good. And we get to pick which one of these we want next turn, because we won't get, or we will get a search with Eternal Soul. So then set 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh no, keep that in hand. Set 3, and then opponent's turn. We can activate Eternal Soul. Use Eternal Soul to search for Dark Magic attack. Literally just to shuffle our deck, so we don't draw. Well, we're looking to find that Dark Magician, so we want to shuffle our deck. We don't actually want Impermanence or Secret Village right now, because we've got double Twin Twisters, so we've got plenty of spell removal. And then that lets us summon the Dark Illusion. That'll give us a Banish with Dark Magic Circle. And then we've got Twin Twisters to get rid of some spells and traps. Dark Magic Attack will be live now, because we've got the Magician of Dark Illusion. And then next turn, look at that, Dark Magician on top. So then Eternal Soul can special summon that, Dark Magic Circle, or Navigation to get 2. So yeah, there's loads of options with Dark Magicians, which is why I really like them. Some of the weaknesses: heavy spell and trap card removal is not great, and they obviously they can break. If you don't see the vanilla Dark Magician, there are plenty of ways to search it, but you know, you're not always going to get that. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Interest96, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.